Hi everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create your own realistic torn paper and tape images right inside Canva using the Clipping Mask app. This app is available to both free and pro users and even allows you to upload your own custom shapes. I'm on the desktop version of the app, but you can also create these on the iPad version as well. I'm providing all of the shapes that I'll be using in this tutorial in a link in the description below, so you can follow along with me or create your own shapes. Let's get started. One thing I want to note about what we're creating, these are not frames like this where you can swap out the images. What we're creating is a final image because the edit that we're using, this clipping mask, is a destructive one. So what you see is what you get, but I am going to show you how you can use adjustments within Canva to make some changes to it. Now I am on the Canva Pro plan, but again, everything I'm showing you here can be done by the free plan users as well, including using your own masks. I've created a new page in my existing document. You can either do that or start a new canvas. The first thing I want to do is pull in an image of paper. Now this effect only works on an image, not a graphic. So I'll go up to elements here. I already have vintage paper in there, but I think I'm just going to go to regular paper. And I'm going to pull in this sort of crumpled piece of paper, make it a little bit larger. And with it selected, I'm going to go to apps. Now, the first time you use it, you'll need to search for it. So look up clipping mask. And I'm going to open this app. The next time you use it, it'll be in your apps. So you should find it there. Now, the way that this works is when I click on start masking, I have a few options. I can use one of their graphics, which you see here. There's also a text option, but I don't particularly find this useful because this is the only font and there's no other changes you can make. So I'm going to go to image and choose file. The first thing I'm going to do is make my paper. So I'll click on this mask 5 and you can see it's added it to my canvas here. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I can also move this around to where I want. Now, one thing to note, once I click on add to design, that's it. I can't make any other changes to this. So it's important to make sure that it's placed where you want it before you do that. So I like how this looks. So I'm going to go ahead and click on add to design. It's going to disappear into the background, but you can see it sitting right there. I'm just going to delete this paper and I'll make this larger. Now again, this is an image. I can't change the texture, but what I can do is go up to the top to edit, and I can use the adjustments to make changes to the color as well as add some shadows. Now, some of these adjustments are for Pro Plan users only, but let me show you a few that are for free users as well. So I can go up to adjust here and I can change things like the temperature of it. I can change the light values. I can also go down to the bottom here to texture if I want to add a little clarity. I'm going to reset that because I actually liked how it looked. Another one that you can use is filters. This allows you to change the overall tone of it, and you can also adjust the intensity of it. And then one final one that I like to use is this duo tone, which allows you to add a two-tone, which covers the highlights and the shadows. You can change the intensity, and you can also change the color as well and create your own if you'd like. So I'm going to set this back to none. Again, I like how this one looks. The one that I want to use here is shadows. Now, this is where it's an advantage that it's an image and not a graphic. Frames like this are actually graphics, which means that I can't add a shadow behind this. But with this one, I can. So with it selected, I'll go back to my shadows here. I'm going to try this curved one. This is going to give it the impression that the two sides are kind of curved up. So you can see my shadows curved at the bottom. But right now, this looks like it's floating, and I don't want that. So I'm going to make some adjustments here. I'll bring the distance down a bit. I want to make sure that I'm not going so far that you see a shadow at the top because I'm going to create some tape for this and it wouldn't look right if there was some shadow peeking out here. I bring the curve down so it brings it a little closer to the surface to maybe right about there. I can also adjust the intensity and change the color of the shadow if I want, but I'll leave that as is. At this point, I'm ready to create the tape, and I'm going to do that the same way that I created the paper. Once again, I want to pull in some paper. I'm going to use this one here. Now, this is a pro image. For those of you on the free plan, if you're not finding what you want under the elements, you have a couple of other options. You can upload an image that you find online. So you can go to a site like texturelabs.org, pull a free use image and import it. Or you can also go down to apps and you have access to things like Pixabay and Pexels, which are also free use images that you can use here as well. I'm going to use this one, and with it selected, I'll go to apps and I'll go back to clipping mask. and start masking. And then I want to go back to that same file there and choose that tape 2. And this is why I like this. It has these creases in it that kind of make itself look like tape there. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger and move it to right about there. I'll click Add to Design. And again, it's going to disappear into the background, so I'll just get rid of that. I'll move this to the top. Now I could leave the opacity as is and treat this as if it's masking tape, but I think I'm going to bring the transparency down just a little bit, just to lend itself to looking like tape. And one final thing I want to do is add a shadow to this. So I'll go back to shadows, and this time I'm going to use a drop shadow. But again, that's looking like it's floating. I want to bring this down a lot because this is tape, it's thinner. So I just want to have enough of a shadow that you can see it, but not so much that it looks like the whole thing's floating. And that's it. I can group these two up if I'd like. I can save this for future designs. Since the shadows are all non-destructive, I can adjust them as needed. I can make changes to the colors on both of these as well. If you have any questions about what I've covered here in this tutorial or a suggestion for one you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed my teaching style and want to check out my full-length classes, you can find a link to both my Skillshare channel and my own learning site, The Creator Collage, in the description below. I have lots more tutorials to come here on my YouTube channel, but in the meantime, you might want to check out one of these two next. Thanks for watching.